Well, the last two Raws I saw were complete shit. Let's see if they can go 3 for 3. Could this show be complete shit? Or could it be just a little teensy bit better? Well, considering this is the Slammy Awards show, you would expect maybe it would be better, but well, one thing you could definitely tell is that this show is in Seattle because, oh god, Daniel Bryan was over like the Seattle Seahawks had just won the Super Bowl. But so he's in the opening match against Fandango. Okay, why? Considering that he's feuding with the Wyatt family, what sense does this match really make? Especially last week when he took on Eric Rowan. I would have thought maybe they would have him go against Luke Harper, maybe? Oh, just maybe a thought. But this match it was just too random. It was just too out there. And I guess it would make too much sense to have him take on one member of the Wyatt family now, wouldn't it? So, yeah, this really didn't do too much for me. Even if Daniel Bryan was over like no one else in the company. Oh, one thing I did like about this show was the first award that was given out was the LOL Moment of the Year, and you got the New Age Outlaws out there dressed like Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels from Dumb and Dumber. Looked like they raided their wardrobe. That was awesome, I gotta say. And yes, the Rock concert where Dwayne dissed Vicky Guerrero is. Yeah, that's probably what it should have won, and it was good. As far as things on this show I did not care about whatsoever, Santino Marella against Damien Sandow with Big E once again on commentary. Boy, you'd think they would take a little bit of time to build up this feud, but you know, I guess not since it's a secondary title, and therefore I don't really care about this. I'm sure Big E's probably going to win, but yeah, it's just not doing a lot for me. One thing I thought that was interesting on this show was when they gave away the award for Double Cross of the Year, which was ironic. That was won by Shawn Michaels after he turned. That's when he gave the Sweet Chin Music to Daniel Bryan in Hell in a Cell. And I thought it was funny what Shawn Michaels said when he went out to accept the award, is that, hey, he's been double crossing people for years and years, and he finally wins the award. I thought that was pretty funny. But another thing that came out of this I thought was interesting was, well, the Shield were giving away the award, and looks like they're planting that little seed about that they're kind of teasing dissension once again. I guess mainly between Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns, because Reigns was saying something, and then Ambrose comes in and interrupts him, and I think maybe I'm wrong here, but the Shield breakup could be on its way. Oh boy. Well, and another example of lazy booking by the WWE. Oh, once again we get Kofi Kingston and The Miz. I literally did not watch this match. I got downstairs. I went up to wash a couple dishes or something, and I got downstairs just long enough to see The Miz win. Whoopity-doo. Another thing that was actually good about the show, and there weren't a lot of things, but hey, we got to see the return of Eve Torres giving out the Diva of the Year award. You know, this Diva division it'd be a whole lot better if she came back, and she was looking fine as ever, even with a short hairdo and all that good stuff. But the Bella Sluts won. Gee, that's kind of a shock. But kind of led into the 8-man tag between Mysterio, Show, Cody, and Goldust against the Real Americans and Rybaxel. So, it went about as well as you would have expected. Axel takes Axel does the job as he should have. And that's about it for that match. Not much to say about it. There's another match that was just kind of there. So then you come up to the award for the Superstar of the Year. It's like, okay, why do you do this like right after the first hour is up? This is like one of your two biggest awards along with Matches of the Year, and you're putting it just right after your 1 hour main event segment? This is your biggest single award. It should be towards the end of the show where I don't know, maybe you put it like right before Match of the Year or maybe right after it or something. But anyway, Shawn Michaels was doing the presentation, and considering that this was in Seattle, just down the road from Aberdeen, Washington, you would have thought that Daniel Bryan would win, and by God he did, and the guy deserved it this year. I mean, if you want to look up the term, the idea of a babyface right now in today's WWE, Daniel Bryan is the closest thing to it. I mean, a babyface is somebody that you're supposed to get universally behind, and that is what the WWE fans do. They are behind Daniel Bryan 100%. Not this other idea of a babyface where, like John Cena, who gets booed by about at least half the crowd every night of his life. But you get at least they still tease a little bit of tension between Shawn Michaels and Daniel Bryan after what happened a few weeks ago. So at least they had that going still. Oh boy. Another example of lazy booking by WWE. We get this. I would have thought I was watching last week's episode because once again we had Sin Bacha against ADR. Did ADR piss on somebody's Cheerios on the creative staff or something? Because we got the same damn match as what we got last week. It's like, come on, guys, you got to do better than that. And what was a really quick squash, literally and figuratively, Brodus Clay against Xavier Woods. Boy, the Brodus Clay heel turn must be coming sooner and sooner. Because, I mean, you got Tensai trying to hold him back from going after him. And I'm guessing probably what's going to happen is the Funkadactyls are not going to be there anymore. And Brodus Clay and Tensai they're both going to be turning heel at some point. And what was my highlight of the night, even though I thought CM Punk should have took on a different member of the Shield, we got CM Punk and Dean Ambrose, which was a great match on Friday Night SmackDown last week. But this match I thought it was even better. And then you got more dissension between the members of the Shield. In fact, Rollins and Reigns, they didn't even watch the end of the match because, oh hell, Dean Ambrose said he got this. Well, he got it all right. He got to go to sleep. But I'm thinking, I don't know if it's going to happen at TLC, but maybe it's going to be the Royal Rumble when we get the big breakup of the Shield. Well, before Booker T and Lawler, oh shit. Try this again. Okay. Oh, before Mick Foley was called out there for the Extreme Moment of the Year where he was going to present it, I got to call bullshit on something. You had Booker T and Jerry Lawler out there, and he's talking about how Foley's legend started at the King of the Ring in 1998 when Undertaker threw him off the Hell in a Cell. No, Booker. Started in 1993. It was on an episode of WCW Saturday Night, where Vader powerbombed him on a concrete floor, and then the next year they fought in a match in Germany, and he had 2/3 of his ear torn off. I think that's when his hardcore legend stuff started. Now, if you've seen any of his matches in the old ECW, yeah, you would know that too. But But as far as the Extreme Moment of the Year award, it went to Punk for his beat down of Heyman on the top of the cell. It should have been inside, but that's another thing entirely. Alright, then they had the Usos against the Wyatt family. Gee, haven't seen that match before, now have I? Wyatt family wins, yay. Alright, now you have the Match of the Year presentation done by Bret the Hitman Hart. Actually, one of the best matches of the year wasn't even it wasn't even nominated. I probably would have went with Punk against Lesnar at SummerSlam. But as far as what did get nominated, I probably would have went with Triple H and Lesnar in Extreme Rules. But no, you knew this had to happen. The match of the year that was voted on. I'm kind of dubious of that. But John Cena against The Rock at WrestleMania? No, I don't think so. The match of the year before that was better than the match at last WrestleMania. But I guess Cena had to get a slammy somewhere. Hell, his girlfriend's got one, so. Then you got to the main event segment, the Ascension Ceremony. You had a whole bunch of different WWE and World Champions out in the ring at the same time. But as I said earlier in the review, this was most definitely a pro Daniel Bryan crowd. It wasn't just because it wasn't in Chicago, and it wasn't in New York or New Jersey, it wasn't in Philadelphia. It was in Seattle, Washington, which is not too far from Daniel Bryan's hometown. So even though it is his hometown, he's still got a huger pop than what he even normally gets, and that's saying something. But the promos itself, I mean, Orton's promo was long and boring. Sorry, Chase Oliver, 68. But at least he had the people around him to at least make him look somewhat good. But then on Cena's part, I mean, his promo, a lot of his promos are really hokey and shit, but a lot of times when Cena gets right down to it, he can deliver a pretty decent promo, and he did this time. So, but then you get, sure, he had to use Daniel Bryan to get yes chance going and try to get the crowd in his favor. I mean, he's apt to do that too, but then afterwards, it all broke down. I thought this was a really great, really excellent segment. I mean, you got Cena and Orton going at it. The pull apart ensues. Orton pie faces Punk, and then Punk, you know how Punk's going to be. He's not going to take too kindly to that, so he punches out Orton. So then you got God in there. He's pulling Punk away, and then Punk nails God. Michaels hits Punk with the Sweet Chin music. And Daniel Bryan hits the running knee on HBK. Orton went for the RKO. He ended up pushing Daniel Bryan into stuff. And then, of course, Triple H is going to see that, and he gives Orton the pedigree. And don't read anything into John Cena standing with the Authority at the end of the show. He's not going to be with the Authority. Now, I know that would make a lot of people in the YWC very happy. It would make myself happy to see Cena turn heel, but that's not going to happen, folks. So just get that idea out of your head. But as far as the segment goes, like I said, I thought it was very good. And I personally think Randy Orton's going to come away the winner in all this, but who knows? I've been wrong before. Okay, as far as what I thought of this show, it was better than it has been the last couple weeks, but that's probably not really saying a whole lot. There's only two things that really saved this show for me, and it was kind of hard to watch in spots as well. The Punk Ambrose match I thought was very good, although he probably should have been taking on Reigns or Rollins. Then I thought the Ascension Ceremony was very good as well, especially with all the finishers and that being used and that, and the nice pull apart and between Cena and Orton. But as far as the rest of the show, it's like I had to walk away a couple times from this show because I just couldn't watch it. But anyway, I'm out for now, and I'm really hoping this show really improves now with Triple H in charge of creative.